in touch with anybody from college. Yes, can you give me the number?
Oh, hi, welcome, lovely to see you. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, thank you for jumping on board. By the way, I am so annoyed because I recorded this yesterday, and again, I'm looking at the wrong place. I recorded this yesterday, and 15-minute video, potentially, and went to play it back, no sound. Okay, a little slight problem with the little mini bald black guy, maybe, I don't know. Bit of an issue though, because it just didn't record, and I think it was just the way that I'd connected it into my phone. So as you can imagine, as you can appreciate, I was not in the best of moods to be doing another one after that. I'm having to redo this, and with the use of my trusty little microphone here, hello, hi, yeah, it's great. It's meant that I'm going to be able to just cover what I mentioned yesterday. So the idea of this particular video is to basically go into the notion of addiction, and in this particular case, food addiction, because ultimately I think personally this is something that people kind of poo-poo because they think that just addiction is just for drink, drugs, sex, other bits and pieces that people get into. But food, there's always this idea of, well, it's only food. But it's not just that. It's not just only food. It really is more to that. By the way, hope everybody's doing well. It's been an absolute manic week. Utter manic week at work. My brain is fried. And I have had several nights now where I've had some unusual dreams. Yeah, some very unusual dreams indeed. My nipples are spoons! Ah! Don't even ask. Don't even ask. I don't even know what that was. I just wanted to let you know that the latest that we have at the moment, before I go into the addiction side of things, is that Monday is payday. I'm going to be looking to apply for Mounjaro when I get paid on Monday. I'm going to look to record the process. Obviously, can't sort of show you every question and answer because obviously, you know, my own personal details. But I want to be able to show you the kinds of things they ask, just in case you're in a position where you yourself are thinking about applying for it, or maybe you look at the questions and sort of go, not for me. No, thank you. I want to move on to the idea of this addiction malarkey. So, when it comes to addiction can come about because of various different reasons, and it's very much personal to that particular person, because if you think about it, an addiction is the sort of ultimate need and want for a particular thing, and it's generally created by the brain in the respect of endorphins are released because they've received whatever it is that the person's addicted to. But we know with addiction, the actual substance or whatever it might be that the person is addicted to, the feel-good factor of it is only for a very short while. And so it's this continuous chase for this addiction. Now, the thing is, with people with a food addiction, and I do think it is a thing, because I think people gravitate towards food because it's a comfort thing. It's this idea of, you know, it's giving yourself a positive feeling about whatever it is you're just going through. You know, you're going to have something really tasty. I find food addiction the most difficult to sort of try and get people to grasp, because if you think about it, you have to eat. Okay, you have to eat. You have to make sure that you have sustenance. But the problem is that it's like, well, you can have this, but you can't have that, and definitely not that. And if I was you, I wouldn't have that on top of that with a side of that, because that's not going to do you any good. It's like saying to somebody with a heroin addiction, like, you can have a little bit. You can have a little bit of it. Not too much, though. But I'll let you make sure that you're only having a little bit. And also, not only that, you can only have a little bit, regardless of what happens in your life. If you've got really high levels of stress or something traumatic has happened, you can still only have a little bit. And for people with an addictive personality, and especially people who have an addiction to some form of object, whether it be food, drugs, drink, or whatever, life kind of sort of derails you in your plans of sobriety or diet or healthy living or whatever it is. But there's this idea that, you know, well, these are addictions, and that is fine, that people can have these addictions and work towards it. Why don't you just eat less? It's like, oh, I didn't think of that. Maybe I should try that. What do you think? What we have to recognize is that it's the body just trying, and the brain, just trying to go for something that is going to release those endorphins that make you feel better. The best example to explain it, the best way to explain it, was actually given to me by someone I knew who was addicted to cigarettes. And I said to him, what is it about the cigarettes that you're addicted to? Because I've never smoked. And so it's never been an addiction of mine. But obviously I know family members and plenty of people in the world are addicted to cigarettes. So I said, well, what is it about having that cigarette that makes you feel, well, what is it you feel? What makes you come back? And he said, it's like, if I have a cigarette, it's like somebody patting you on the back and saying, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. And I think a lot of us, especially those who are in the food kind of addiction side of things, we feel the same. You have that, you know, that urge for something sugary or carbs or something just fatty like fast food, and momentarily you just feel, I needed this. It doesn't then last forever, much like cigarettes, you know, because you're then craving the next one. But I just think it's got a genuine addiction label to it, the same as everything else. But people are so quick to just say, it's not a thing, just eat less, man. Just why don't you just have less? I would if I could. If I could continue it and life was to not just keep throwing me balls of shit all the time, I would be able to do it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I do apologise for a lot of this. Oh, God, I can't do that too much. Elon Musk found that out, didn't he? Can't do a lot of that. I can't. How about that? Oh, no. Bring back memories. Right. I can't sit like this. My shoulders are going to get crushed if I just sit like this. You have to put up with the weird arm movements. Sorry. And God, I'm getting nervous about this. Memories. I would think it's just time that, you know, people recognise that actually, you know, it's not just because of greed. That's what a lot of people who are overweight are tarnished with. Oh, it's just you're greedy, you're just selfish, you just like to stuff your face with food. Whenever I've had food and I've had the craving for food, it's never the kind of, it's because I don't want anybody else to have any. It's nothing to do with that. Well, it's me thinking I'm chasing those endorphins. I'm chasing that comfort. It's never about self. It's not like, oh, this food is for me, it's not for you. And I think people need to recognise that, and they need to sort of realise that food addiction is kind of ignored. It's the kind of the process of, how am I going to get through traumatic times? And let's be honest, okay, and I think everybody can align to this, okay. Cost of living crisis, okay. Really nice food. I think if you went out to a restaurant, you got nice food, sort of like organic, healthy for you. How much are we paying for that, okay? Versus me going down to McDonald's, can I have your chip fat, please, and just pour it on me? 5p, oh, that's lovely. You know, sometimes it is out of necessity. Sometimes people just can't afford the good stuff. And I've got to stop putting this so far near to me. But you just got to be able to recognise that, you know, it's not always the person's choice, okay? Maybe it's the best of a bad situation. But food addiction is a thing. I'd like people just to be more aware of it. And to quote Crowded House, it's everywhere you go. Okay, there's food everywhere. You don't have to go far to find unhealthy food, things tempting you. It's the same for people, obviously, who have smoking addictions, cigarettes, and also drink as well. But it's the same for food. Okay, and it's no different. And I just wanted to address that. I just thought it was important just to sort of get my point of view across with that. Thank you ever so much for jumping in. It's not a particularly in-depth video. I just given my thoughts because I realised that maybe the next video I'm going to put up is for when I am actually applying for the particular drug, Mounjaro, the questions I'm going to have to answer, and I just wanted to keep you in the loop. I also want to shout out to the community out there, because I have noticed, just by obviously the fact that algorithms and everything, I've noticed that there's quite a few people who are actually taking part in the same thing. So they're doing Mounjaro or other things, and there's people who are, maybe they've been doing it for not very long, so that I can kind of see and gauge where they are in their journey. So I can almost see that, okay, are there sort of side effects that I'm going to have, or what things do I need to think about? Because I did watch a video where someone was saying that they found that changing up the injection site actually changed how much they lost. So I think you can choose between like your thigh, your stomach, and so on. So they switched it up, and actually it seemed like it started to work. So it's very much a community. I would urge for people to get in touch. I would urge for people just to sort of, if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing the same as I'm doing, get in touch. We're all in this together, okay? And likewise, if you're just in a difficult place because of weight and so on, we understand, we empathise, okay? So get in touch. I would like to sort of have a really good community on here of people who are taking action or thinking about taking an action, or just want to have a chat because of the difficulties of life being overweight, okay? But anyways, thank you ever so much for jumping in. Remember, if you want to, please like and subscribe, follow myself, and I will see you again soon to show you the application process. So in the meantime, take care.